All right, so today turned out to be a day for extra sleep, which is an important part of staying healthy. Extra sleep every now and then, like a regular sleep routine, right? Sleep hygiene. Not everybody knows about sleep hygiene. But, laying down at the same time roughly every night, getting up roughly at the same time every day, sleeping in a place where you don't do other things is helpful, not always manageable. Oh, there's some chickens behind me. Some chickens in front of me too. And 15-minute power naps are good during the day. Every once in a while it turns into a deep nap, but it finally stopped raining. Finally stopped raining here. I mean, it flooded yesterday. My car flooded, and it's in the shop, so it's like everything was rained out, and it's a good day for that little bit of extra sleep. But we've got the goats out. The goats are out grazing, and we had to pick grass in the rain and throw it in their area. Throw it in their little area because it was raining so hard. They really can't be out in the rain very much. They get cold, and they need to be. Come on, Mousy. Bring them over here for you to see them, and for them to get in some space. They're right here. They're getting wrapped up. So I bring them out here, and I let them. I keep an eye on them, and I let them be on this tie out and graze different areas of the yard. Eventually, this yard is going to be fenced in, hopefully within a year from now, when we start breeding them and whatnot. It'll be fenced in. But there they are. The one running away is Mousy. She's the baby one. Pan is the mama. And Pan usually likes to be close to people. I don't think she likes the camera tripod. It scares her a little. Behind them is kind of our makeshift chicken coop. But as you may be able to see, the door is wide open, and you saw the chickens earlier. We just have that as a place for them to be out of the rain and hopefully lay their eggs. Although they don't always lay in there. But we're working on that. But they're so healthy when you let them out. You let them be free range. Is that a sneeze, Pan? You alright? Mousy's eating. I think they're so cute when they eat. They're just so peaceful when they eat. Mousy's still growing, so she eats a lot. Let's see if Pan will let us get up close. I don't know if she'll get up close with the camera here. It's okay, Pan. Yeah, she doesn't love the camera. But I mean, she was so I could never get that near to her. Pan, I could never get that near to her when we first got her a month or two ago. And now she really likes affection. But that's Mama, Pandina. But Mousy, I've never gotten up close to her, never. I mean, she comes when I put food out for her. So they help take care of the yard, and so once we get the fence set up within the next year, and then once we get um, once we get the fence set up, and then once we start um, having a buck come over and breed with them, and they have babies, then we'll eventually start milking them. And I mentioned in another video that I love goat's milk. I don't know if I mentioned that's because of the A2 protein though. It's same as, A2 cows. There's A2 cows, they're called Jersey cows, and then goats, they have just the A2 protein instead of the A1 and A2 protein. And it's easier for people to digest. And so I've found that that's typically what I'll have, if anything, if I have dairy. It's something with the A2 protein. And Pan is checking out my chair there. There's Mousy. There they are. So, yeah, it's kind of a lazy, restful day today. But I thought I'd let you get up close with the goats in case there's any chance you've been following the last two videos. It's like we were out in the rain with the goats, and we were out getting grass for the goats when it was sunny in between the rain, but the goats were in their pen, and so you didn't really get to see them. But there they are. There's the goats. So it didn't really get sunny today at all, maybe for a little while. There was some sunshine on us, on our solar panels. There's our house, which you've probably been seeing in the background the whole time. You can't see the solar panels, but I may be repeating myself. I may have mentioned this before. And the dogs are up there whining at me, so maybe we'll go get the dogs. Pan's coming over. How you doing, Pan? Mousy's looking at us. So I'll go get the dogs here in a minute. I don't know if I'll subject you to that. There's a lot of rustling around and putting on leashes. And then another telehealth video client had a really nice discussion with someone this morning who agreed to let me ask them some questions about a problem and how they frame that problem. So working on doing some authentic market research and learning what people who are in my audience, what kind of things that they experience challenges with and how they view those challenges, what kind of things they're in the market for to help them with those challenges. And sincerely, it's gratifying to do this market research. I've never done it before. It's part of my authentic business training that I'm doing. And it's enriching. It's enriching. And at first it might feel a little clunky or something to like, okay, I'm going to do market research. But it's just, step by step. And then we're having these conversations where I'm calling it a mutual resource conversation. So I'm offering something in return as we talk, as I ask them the questions. And I found it interesting, speaking as a therapist, how it didn't make much difference what questions I asked, even though I asked market research conversations about the issue, market research questions about the issue. I was still completely able to give reflective feedback that was therapeutic and to just seamlessly go in and out of those things. So I call it a mutual resource conversation because I'm getting the opportunity to learn the things, that I already described, and then I also am getting an opportunity to offer the person some resources about the issue during the conversation. And so hopefully that's helpful. And so Pan's going to lay down, it looks like. She laid all the way down. And she's chewing, so that's good. Good and healthy. I'm learning, but if they chew, you kind of think this is about goats, but my channel's not really about goats. But if they chew, it's a sign that they're doing healthy. Apparently, like they chew even when they're not eating. They call it chew their cud. But it isn't about goats, but at the same time, the farm, and we'll have bees. The farm is part of the healing for me. It's one of the healing aspects for me, and the idea of like growing our own food is part of our framework of feeding people and serving people and remembering God. So these are just sort of day-to-day life snapshots here, and I enjoy the opportunity to share. But anyway, so I enjoy the research conversations, and I've been working on gathering 10 people for each topic. So I'm on my first topic, which is, depending on what forum I'm sharing it in, it's basically about depression, people who struggle with depression. But I don't mean like clinical depression, like as a medical diagnosis, but some forums consider depression only as a medical diagnosis, so you can't mention it in a certain context. And yet there are a lot of things that go along with depression, like self-criticism, sadness, loss of interest in things, and so it can be framed that way. But I'm exploring, asking people who struggle with depression what kind of things they find helpful, what kind of services and classes and coaching, therapy and whatnot they find helpful. And there's a series of questions that goes along with that. And so that's been enriching, and that's that. And I'm out here with the goats. See if Pan will let us get near. No, maybe not. Maybe so. Oh, she's thinking about it. She'll I think warm up to the camera eventually. If we do this enough, she'll warm up to the camera. All right. So I'm gonna go get the dogs, and then I'm gonna see a client, and I'll see you when I see you, and you'll see me the next time, the next video that you watch. And I'd love to see you in the comments as well. So I'm Tom Kirkham. I'm on Big Island, Hawaii. This is Pandina, And this is Mouse. And the dogs whining in the background are Oatmeal and Alfredo. And I'm going to go get them and let them walk before I talk to the next client. Aloha.